I've been feeling emotional, thinking about you, babe. What can we focus on? What we should do? Tell me the truth, 'cause I don't wanna see you with somebody else. And I've been feeling lonely in this king-size bed. I'm trying not to worry about the things you say. I ain't got the time, you're always on my mind. Baby, why you playing with my love? I'm trying to be patient with you now. I'll never be sober if you don't pull me closer. Look me in my eyes and tell me how. I'm hypnotized. I'm hypnotized. I've been feeling delusional. Thinking about us, babe. Your body's so beautiful. All I want is your love. Can't get enough. 'Cause I don't wanna see you with somebody else. And I've been feeling lonely in this king-size bed. I'm trying not to worry about the things you say. I ain't got the time, you're always on my mind. Baby, why you playing with my love? I'm trying to be patient with you now. I'll never be sober if you don't pull me closer. Look me in my eyes and tell me how. I'm hypnotized.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Come on in. Going live. I'll put the cam up here in just less than 60 seconds. Good afternoon. I want to talk about the latest as it relates to this Cincinnati shooting that happened back on this past Sunday, August 7th, to be exact. Happened in what's called Main Street here in Cincinnati, Ohio. And if you don't know the city of Cincinnati, that's the city where there's a lot of bars and some nightlife and things like that. So there was a shooting in which 9 people were injured, but nobody was killed. I got a source the day before yesterday, that said that they had found apprehended one of the suspects. Joe Deters, Hamilton County Prosecutor, white male Republican, confirmed as much in his press conference. I'm not sure if you got a chance to see any of the press conference, but it's you can find it at WLWT's website, WLWT7, I believe it is, on their Facebook page, should I say. You can check it out there. That's why I saw it. One of the choppers sent it to me. A few people called me and said, you know what's going on. They were talking about this. They were also talking about somebody tried to break into the FBI headquarters here in Cincinnati. We'll get to that another day, maybe tomorrow morning. But right now, is this a case of self-defense? I know how everybody wants, justice, and we want to feel safe and all that kind of stuff. I'm with you with all of that. Hey, good afternoon. I'm with you with all of that. But is this a case of self-defense? I don't know if you got a chance to see any press conference. You should check it out. It's about 15 minutes long. I've watched it twice now to get a sense of what was happening. In the press conference, they showed the entirety of the shooting. And here's what happened. There was a fight, an altercation. One person pulls a weapon, blick, 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 blick. Another guy was across the street, blick, 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 right? And they've now been both apprehended. One officer fired a round at one of the suspects and actually hit him. That's how they found him. I think he went to the doctor and they were able to, apprehend him shortly afterward. But hooray, hooray. Now the world has been saved because these 2 shooters have been brought to so-called justice. The indictment was brought down today. They went to the grand jury this morning. Hey, good morning to you, or good afternoon to you, Tanika. Good to see you. It's a little different in the afternoon. It's a little different. And what was interesting is these men got 171 years combined. If they get the maximum all the way around, it's 171 years combined. I believe one man, if he is found guilty of all the charges, he gets 91 years. The other gets 80 years. Joe Deters, talking tough as usual, he says that this is the only way to deal with these kind of people, is you got to throw the book at them. He says, let it be known that if you do something like this in the city of Cincinnati, you will be dealt with. In fact, what he said is that they're gonna try to put you in jail for the rest of your life, which is really interesting. Like, clearly, they need to get to the bottom of this. But what I thought was interesting is a reporter that was in the room. She actually asked a question about whether this could be a self defense type of thing, and Joe Deters said he kind of chuckled, like, "Huh, uh, yeah, yeah, try that with the judge or try that with the jury," is what he said, and he chuckled and he said, "I don't believe that for a second." But I'm like, wait a minute, this is a concealed carry state, so you should assume that whenever you go to any kind of crowd, somebody probably has a weapon. It's just concealed, which is legal. You can legally do that. So, and there's probably more to the story or whatever, but I want to talk about this right now as we understand it right now. We might get more information and it changes. Okay, I'm open for that. But why isn't so I'm out, I get into an altercation on Main Street, somebody pulls a gun on me, blick, 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 right? I got a weapon on me. Am I not allowed to return fire? Yeah, there's a crowd of people here, but it was a crowd of people when he pulled the weapon on me too. So the man who was being shot at, I mean, that's the very definition of self-defense. Or does it depend on the circumstances? You can only claim self-defense if people are around or not around. I don't understand it. But Joe Deters just threw it out of consideration. He wouldn't even consider it when he brought up. In fact, he kind of laughed about it, like, yeah, right. How could this possibly be self-defense? But am I wrong in this? Again, I'm not trying to absolve anybody of their crimes or anything, but I want to look at things from, all the different ways of looking at it. Why why can't the second man, claim self-defense? I don't get it. That seems to be the very essence of it. But people are gonna run with this. I can already tell, because everybody talks about this stuff in the same old kind of way. Like, everybody's outraged. I get it. And now AFTAB, the mayor, and city council are charged with doing something about it. And then Joe Deters comes out and he can come out and say, in total, we gave him 171 years. One guy, if he's convicted max of all of the potential, of the crimes, max 90 years. That is that what we're looking for? I mean, that's what we're looking for? We're looking for the men involved. And again, people didn't get killed just by luck. Right? I understand it. If we were talking about people being killed, maybe the conversation would be different. And definitely it should be, and I get it. But I don't know. It just seems like to make everybody feel better, whoever the perpetrators were, no matter what the circumstances are, we want them to go to jail for as long as possible. And then we can say, that's what they deserve. And then back to business as usual. That's what it kind of feels like to me. And they're talking about putting cameras up there, but those cameras are not going to stop anybody from protecting themselves. Or if somebody has it in their mind that they're going to pull a weapon on you, those cameras are not going to stop you. There were officers right there. At some point during the press conference, Joe Deters, and it was after he was asked about the fact that could this be self-defense? Like, could one of the men involved claim that? And again, he just laughed it off. And I thought, that's interesting. There's no possibility. I mean, yeah, you're the prosecutor, you're entitled to your opinion and all, but you know, okay, whether I got a beef with somebody or not, let's say these two men had a long-standing beef. It don't really matter. One person pulls a weapon out on another person that's concealing a weapon as well. If you're the second person, isn't that the essence of self-defense? Whether I knew them or I got a lot of money or I don't have a lot of money, or we've had beef before, or we're from rival crews. Does it really make a difference? I don't know. You tell me. Again, if you want to share your thoughts, that's my number, right? 513-873-7134. I know that sometimes looks like a one. Am I wrong in this? Am I looking at this the wrong way? What am I missing? What am I missing? So just to explain this, so on the left, on that left circle, that's actually the shooter. He had a flashlight on his weapon. In the video, you see an altercation. He's backing up toward that sign, the yellow sign, And as he's backpedaling or backing away, he's also firing down the block, like from left to right, right? And then he turns that corner right there underneath the arrow, and then runs away. And then shortly afterward, you hear more gunfire. I don't know if it's a police officer or. Now the second box is a still frame of what Joe Deters said was the second shooter as he was running away. He was across the street. You can't really see like you see that police car there. He was to the left of that, but further down a little bit as well. So that's what happened. That's what happened. But again, I need to understand what self-defense is, because if we get into a beef, I get into an altercation with a man and he pulls a weapon on me and he fires that weapon, right? I'm in self-defense mode automatically, right? I'm in self-defense mode automatically. I don't know where this guy is. At some point, Joe Deters, and I thought it was comical. I'm like, man, this ain't where you think you live at. But at some point he was just flabbergasted, like, well, how could you do this in front of a police officer? That's what he said. And the fact that the police were standing there seemed to enrage him even more. But to me, it just goes to show you just how little protection that people think that the police have on one level. But on second level, I mean, the police was standing right there when dude pulled the weapon the first time. Didn't stop him. So why would you expect that for me? Let's say I'm in a situation where I get into it with a dude. He pulls a weapon on me. He starts firing. I'm not waiting for the police to come in and do a darn thing. If I got a weapon on me, I'm firing back. How many people are going to fire back? Leave it in the comments. I'd like to know. Or are you just going to let this go down and let yourself get shot to death because the police are standing close? No human being is going to do that. So again, I'm not trying to absolve anyone. I don't know any more details than they put out in that press conference, which was only like 15 minutes televised. But I can definitely see the second guy claiming self-defense in this, saying, yeah, I don't like him, or we got into it over whatever it may be. And we might think it's a trivial reason, but when you face to face with another person and y'all got an issue, that's a whole different animal than standing back or watching it on television or on live streams. It's different. It's different. So I would like to know what you think. And again, Joe Deters said, and he let it be known, he felt like he said the cameras can't help. They can't hurt if they put more cameras on Main Street and all over the place. That would be great. But again, cameras are only going to give you like what happens afterward. Like unless you got a live human being or some type of software that can recognize when shots are being fired, and then it can automatically alert the police, then what good is the camera? Like it'll let us know what happened afterward. That's always great in the aftermath and all that kind of stuff with investigations and who's to blame and who to indict. That's cool with the people is who to indict. But I mean, them cameras ain't stopping nobody. Like I said, there's some folks out there who don't give a damn who's standing around. They mama could be standing there. And if it's time to get blizzy, it's time to get blizzy. But again, what do you think about 171 years for the two men in total that have been indicted for the shooting? Does that satisfy your desire for justice? Are you going to feel safe now because they could get a total of 171 years? Secondly, is it possible that the second shooter could claim self-defense? And what do you think in general? Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Nate. How's it going today?
I'm doing great. Oh, you got hung up on. It wasn't me. Is that Chris? It wasn't me, Chris. Call me back, man. I'll put you on. It was not me. Right? 513-873-7134. As you can all see on the screen, if you're looking at the screen. If you listen to this show on a regular basis and you just don't call in a lot, go ahead and lock me in. Nathan's Show. So all you got to do, Nathan's Show, 513-873-7134. Lock me in. And that way you can always get to me quick. You might be driving or whatever. You tell me. So Tanika's in the house. She writes, good afternoon, Nate and the Choppers. Good afternoon. Sab1 writes, Deters was just on the radio saying they already gave the case to Judge Giz and she would do the right thing. It's already set up to make his message. Is that what he said? Yeah, Judge Giz, she's one of them. She's one of them. So I don't know. I mean, we'll probably see pleas. You typically see pleas in a situation like that. But again, two things: 171 years for the two men indicted. Damn, that seems like a lot. And nobody got killed. But does that satisfy everybody's desire to feel safe again? Because that's all this really is. It's an exercise to make us feel safe again. Let's call this it's what it really is. He can give these people 171 years if he want to, but it's not going to stop the next shooting because we haven't really done the work where it really needs to be done. We haven't really done that yet. So these are all reactions to the crime. That 171 years don't mean a damn thing if tomorrow somebody pulls a gun on you. It don't mean anything. You ain't going to be thinking about none of that stuff. You're going to be thinking about, how do I save my life? And if you got a weapon on you, more than likely you're going to pull it. You're going to pull it. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't. You're going to pull it. So again, I don't know all the circumstances. They talked about the police records of the two men that have been apprehended, and they got lengthy records, lots of involvement with the law. It does. Lengthy records, lots of involvement with the law, whatever that's supposed to mean. Because I had a few felonies, I can't defend myself now. I don't know. Did either of these men, were they carrying it illegally? I don't know. Again, I can only go off the information I just got. And the information I just got is the same information you have, which is that was that 15-minute long press conference. We just got another call. Call me back, and I'll try to put you on. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Please share the show because I'm on an unusual time. I'm usually not on during the afternoon, but I wanted to do some breaking news with you. This is what's happening in the city of Cincinnati, and perhaps people want to talk about it. Again, I got two things. One, my question for you is 100. I'm serious about this. I have two questions for you, and only two questions. One, 171 years combined. That's the total amount of time that these two men could face for the shooting that happened back on Sunday, August 7th on Main Street here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Does that satisfy your desire to feel better? Because that's why they're doing all of this. I mean, they all got these serious faces because they care, number one. I don't doubt the sincerity of the mayor. I don't doubt the sincerity of Joe Deters when he says he cares. I don't doubt that. Okay. But what I'm saying is we need more than just these men getting 171 years for me to feel comfortable about what's going on. And Joe Deters, his attitude is, if you do something like this, you don't deserve to walk the streets. He just said it. That's my first question. 171 years, does that make you feel better? Is that justice if they get the total amount? And then secondly, the second shooter, right? So somebody pulls a gun on this dude after the altercation. He's got a gun on him. What is our expectation? Is he supposed to just let himself get shot because people are around? Because the police are right there. He's just supposed to not there's no self-defense at all. That's what Joe Deters just said. I think that's quite interesting and worthy of more conversation. That's just me. You might feel differently. But if you do, you can give me a call at 513-873-7134. Let's go to the phones. Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Nate. I think we finally got it.
Yeah, we do. Is this Chris?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing well. I'm glad actually you hung up on me because then I didn't listen to it. I didn't know.
I didn't hang up on you.
I didn't know that they had records.
They did have records. Lengthy records.
Yeah, you cannot conceal carry with the felony.
Correct.
So, they're going to do jail time now. That you can't claim self-defense with you carrying a firearm. You can claim it.
Huh?
I guess you could try to. You could try and claim it, but you're illegally carrying. So you're going to get some jail time just for that.
Oh, you're talking about these men in particular. Right. Absolutely. Oh, for sure. And again, I don't know So is that how that works, Chris? If you're a felon, does it depend on the type of felony in Ohio?
Nope, it's a felony. Nope, doesn't depend. It's just felony. Okay. You cannot carry with the felony. Concealed carry. You couldn't even before you couldn't get your CCW because if you were a felon. And now that they open it up, it still goes along. You cannot carry with the felony.
Right. Okay.
So you can try and claim self-defense, but you're still going to do some time for carrying on disability.
I got you. Okay. Makes sense.
Now, with these two gentlemen, would they get the same time if this crime happened in Avondale or Bond Hill? Let's say if it happened outside of, any establishment in Avondale, Bond Hill, would they get the same? I think what's pressuring them is Avtech, when right afterwards, he went to a press conference and he said what he said. And then they had the meeting at the bar and they invited city council and, everybody, they said that the joke upon it is, okay, somebody's going to get, there's going to be gunshots at one of these bars down here. Now, which one is it going to be? And are they doing it just because now that they're trying to really clean up that area, or it's been cleaned up and, they got all this money invested in it? Would it have happened? Would they be doing this if it happened somewhere else in a black neighborhood? I don't think so. And on top of all of that, it's like, and here's where I like you're gonna get jail time, or they are. But where I question our society and our judgment, or in our judicial system, and is, you remember the gentleman who opened fire, I guess, in Mall of America. Granted, I know it's a different state, but he opened fire and a guy shot and killed him in the mall, and everybody's glorifying this guy. But he also was breaking the law or breaking their request not to carry in the mall. But the police and everybody was calling him a hero because he stopped this gunman from killing more people. But so you see, like, the difference of, they're going to get jail time, but this guy is getting glorified for breaking the law.
Well, was he a felon?
Now he wasn't a felon, but you can't carry in the mall.
Right. I get
now,
it. It's something about being a felon that it just changes the way people perceive you. And of course, in Ohio, and I just looked it up while you were talking, Chris. I mean, both of these men are being charged with felony, with having a firearm, and they're not supposed to have it. So, along with a long list of like felonious assault. And I guess this is for all the people that were injured, and then the people that could have been injured.
I think that they need, the people that were injured need justice. They definitely do. But, to laugh that off without any explanation just shows the ignorance of y'all's prosecutor completely, and how biased he is with a man of color, and how the pressure of to try and clean up. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And everybody with big money is breathing down his neck. I mean, it's a sad situation that we're in, that we have to go through this, but at least keep it, at least show face that you're going to be fair. What he did was, he was not, his show face was, nah, I'm not going to be fair. This is my opinion. This is y'all's opinion. And we're going to hammer down on this. And just to try and set an example out of these two young men.
Well, you know that they're definitely making an example out of him, no doubt about that. And you just
Oh,
knew that was going to happen, Chris. I could just tell
yeah,
by the way that the mayor and everybody was talking about it and the way it was being reported, like, you know, people's feelings were really hurt by this. And I get it, the potential loss of life, but it just seems like there's more there that's focused on outraged, and we need more focused on future solutions. But that's just me,
right,
though. You know what I'm saying? We
right,
get all in our outrage. What could have happened? Oh, how dare you? And I'm like, okay, that ain't fixing the problem. That's not addressing the future. But it is what it
right.
is what we got. Chris, thank you
I
for the call, man.
Thanks, sir. Have a good day.
You too, man. I appreciate Chris. Appreciate him calling in this afternoon. Appreciate you. And good afternoon to you. Listen, there's my number. I won't keep boring you by saying it over and over again because I'm not streaming audio with this. It's just going over video. So you can see the number right there and share. I'm going to jump into comments. Frank writes, good afternoon, Mr. Ivy and the Choppers. Detroit or Deters is an idiot. I don't want to call the man an idiot. I don't want to call the man. I mean, you're welcome to your opinion. I don't want to call Mr. Deters an idiot. I don't think he's an idiot. You know, not in the way that I think like Donald Trump is an idiot. Joe Deters is a very smart, intelligent man. I don't like the way he operates as prosecutor all the time, but wherever he is, he don't really give a fuck about what I think about how he operates. So what difference does it really make, right? I will say that I think he has the role to play that's bigger than just being everybody's daddy and being a plantation owner. And I wish he would, you know, give a little more in all communities and show more of that. And even in this case, you know, he just completely laughed off the possibility that somebody could claim self-defense as if, you know, you got a felony. How could you claim self-defense? You got to go with a disability. So how prevalent is that? How prevalent is it that you got people and they got felonies that's carrying weapons? I mean, Joe Deters would know that. You know, city leaders would know that. I don't know that. But it's hard to tell somebody that's living a certain lifestyle. You know, I'm telling you, yo, man, oh my God, I got some information this week to just let me know just how different people are living in the city of Cincinnati. You know, a lot of us got our nice little polite lives and everything structured. We got money coming in. You getting your teeth clean on a regular basis, and you got people that love you, and you got certainty in your life in the ways that you need it, and you've always had that. And every once in a while, you get to get some bingo tickets. You can go to the game and enjoy. We get so caught up with that we forget that there's other people in this city that's living way different. They live in way different. And in some cases, they're children. In a lot of cases, they're children. And it's to no fault of their own. They just born into this circumstance. And I'm just, you know, people love to get high and mighty in Cincinnati. Even black folks start looking down. We ain't too far. We ain't too far. I see black, not Democrats in the house. He writes, what up, Nate? The cameras are for surveillance and help in an investigation when police on the scene can't catch a suspect. Thank you for that, black non-Democrat. Damn it, I couldn't have thought of that myself. Man, John Lude writes, exactly, just a matter of time before the next shooting. People on some different nowadays. Shaking my head. What up, John LUD 24 Cincy? What up? Will the defendant take a plea bargain or face a jury and possibly get 171 years? We'll have to wait and see. Wendy Rivers writes, I live in this neighborhood and it's shots fired over the weekend. Is that right? I live in Clifton. I hear shots fired on a weekly basis as well. You just kind of get used to it. Yeah, it's shots fired all over the damn place in this city. That's why they got Shot Spotter in some neighborhoods. So that's not uncommon. I don't know. 171 years, does that make you feel better now? Yeah. We feel like, yeah, justice will be served. Let's go to the phones. Good afternoon and welcome.
Hey, Nate, it's Pat.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, I was wondering, some of those charges with the years, is that because other people got shot, the 9 people got shot?
I think so, and I think it was people that could have been shot because you had two men. So one man's name is Diablo McCoates. He was indicted on 16 charges of felonious assault and one count
Mhm.
of having weapons under disability. He's facing 91
Yeah.
years. So again,
Yeah.
I don't have the mind or the experience to speak super articulate on it, but what it looks like is that yeah, these are people that were either injured or people that could have been injured. Maybe they were near the injured people that were there. So
Right.
he
And
stacked all the charges.
also, when I watched the press conference, Joe Deters said there's no plea bargains with gun charges anymore. I mean, he doesn't make plea bargains. No more plea bargains on gun charges.
That's very
So I don't think
interesting.
that's an option for either of the two.
That's very interesting, really. Huh.
I mean, he said, as of I don't know what date or the year, he said, but I no longer make plea bargains with gun charges.
Well, how's that working for us? How
I,
long's he been doing this and we still getting shooting? So
I don't know. I would have to look at the um, press conference again to know the exact date. And also, just by my two nephews within the last 5 years getting murdered, both of the people that were charged and convicted with those two cases, they had something down. That's when I learned about weapons under disability. So, yeah, if you're a felon, you're not supposed to carry a gun, period. So
what'd you
that's a
think?
charge they could, you know, lay on you,
Right,
weapons under disability.
right. He get both men got those charges or got
Yep,
charged with that in this case.
yep, yep.
So I
So,
mean,
anyway,
in the law, yeah, thank you, Pat, for the call. I appreciate you.
sure. Did you have what was you going to say?
I was just gonna say that in the eyes of the law, you ain't supposed to carry your gun. But in the eyes of the streets, even though you might have a felony, you might feel as if you need to protect yourself because of your environment. So it's a,
Yep,
it's a,
I
it's a bad
understand, but if
situation.
you get caught with it or shoot somebody, that's a charge. So,
Yeah, and these men knew that. They knew that.
right,
So they was on
right.
some old better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6 type stuff.
Right, right.
Like literally.
But I think some of those charges must be, even though no one was killed, they still shot innocent people. Maybe if they just shot each other, it wouldn't be as many
It wouldn't be as
charges.
many
You know what I
charges, right?
mean?
Right. Exactly.
But innocent people got shot, and they deserve something. I don't know.
That's a tough situation. But Pat, I
Yeah, that's
appreciate
just
you.
me. All right.
Yep, take it
Bye bye.
easy. It ain't just you. We got a lot of questions about it. That's an interesting situation. So you got a felony, but you out here in these streets and you feel the need to have a gun. So you make the decision to carry the gun fully knowing that in Hamilton County, you got Joe TNT Deters, and the only TNT he has is for, non-police suspects. You know what I'm saying? You're a member of law enforcement, do some dumb stuff, then he'll fumble the ball and fumble the bag and fumble the ball over and over again and get you off and get you off. Am I being too cynical? Maybe I am. Or if you say F COVID, he got nothing but TNT for you. Or, you're somebody that uses a weapon, they got nothing but TNT for you. So if you live in Hamilton County, you already know what's about to happen, but yet people still carry. And I think it just comes down to whether to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. That's what I think. But let's go to the phones. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, talk show host. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Fane
Wonderful.
Rothstein.
Yes, the one and only. Uh, I just like to commend local law enforcement for apprehending these two dickheads. Um, they're past brazen, shooting at each other in a crowd of innocent people around. The second time somebody's done that in a year. Didn't somebody do that at Smell Park last year?
I believe so.
Down there shooting at each other.
I
Yeah,
believe so.
in a crowd of people. Like, how are people this dumb to be doing this? Why would you do this? And then the one guy, they called him because he was at the hospital. It's like, you never watched a gangster movie? You don't get shot in the street and go to the hospital.
Where else is
You
he
got to
going
go
to go?
somewhere else to take care of that.
Where is he going to go?
What you mean where else he's going to go? The cops going to find the bullet because they got to report every gunshot.
I'm just saying, but where else was he supposed to go? He had to go to the hospital. It was life and death, probably.
Well, the gangster movies, they got a doctor on payroll.
Yeah, operative word is movie, as in make believe.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
Like
the these guys,
they're not like John Wick was like some secret network, some criminal network.
Well,
they ain't got that.
Then don't do criminal shit. Then
don't do.
If you can't go all the way to protect yourself, don't get involved.
I would agree with you, but can I challenge you and just by asking you a question? I agree with everything you said in principle in some cases, but let's say this, okay? Let's say you out in the streets of Cincinnati and you get into a altercation with a dude and y'all scrap a little bit and y'all break up. He backs up, pulls a weapon on you, starts firing. You got a weapon on you. What do?
That's horrible supposition because I wouldn't have a weapon on me. I don't do that. It's not my game.
I set up the hypothetical.
Listen,
I'm asking you, what
do
you
do? It is hypothetical.
Because it matches
what
the
you mean,
situation
what do you do?
that
I don't know.
About,
I guess
I'm not just pulling it out
I guess
of nowhere.
You run.
That's what just happened.
I'm not shooting anyone.
So you gonna let yourself get shot?
I'm a fatalist. If that's what's supposed to happen to me, then that's what's supposed to happen to me. I'm not worried about it.
Okay. You are 1 in a million. And I don't believe that shit no way. I don't believe it.
I don't care. I don't know why you don't believe it.
You're going to pull that weapon and start peeling blick, blick, blick to try to protect yourself like any other human would do. I don't believe you one bit, but go right ahead, sir.
I'm trying to, I don't know why you, after 20 years of talk show calls, I don't know why you would believe anything else. I don't do that. And
I'm
after
not calling you a
criminal,
sir. It was a hypothetical to put you in the same situation as was one of the gentlemen in this case. I ain't trying to.
I don't like guns.
Okay,
it's not my game.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But now, so yeah, you kind of throw me off track there. These guys, thank God they're terrible shots. Let's thank God for that. That these two are both terrible shots. Only hitting people in the ankles and whatnot. Nobody getting hit seriously, including themselves. So this is a terrible situation, and I'm glad that these two assholes are off the street. Nathan, it's been real. It's different coming at this time of the hour, but it's been real, and I had fun. And we'll do this again sometime soon. Be well.
What the hell? This guy. Oh, dear Lord. I don't believe a word he just said. Talking about he don't like guns. You got a weapon on you, somebody firing down on you. What are you going to just let yourself get shot? What are you going to do? And again, I'm just kind of flipping a little bit. I just want to have a different type of conversation with you, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe it's the same. But that's what I see. That's what I see. It's people out there. Why are people making this decision in the city of Cincinnati with all this wealth, all these opportunities, all this goodness? Right, all these the land of opportunity here in the Midwest. Why are people with felonies, knowing that they cannot have a weapon, walking around with weapons? Is it on them? They still decide to go back to their same old ways. Somebody with more insight would have to answer that question. You tell me. What do you think? The talk show host makes a proper impromptu show as this news is top shelf in the city. Okay. I don't know. Let's go to the phones here. Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, comrade.
Good afternoon.
Hey, it's a very easy answer for me, your last question. If I got a gun on me, somebody starts shooting at me, I'm busting back.
I think that's what most people would do, Black Russia.
Man, 99.9. I don't catch a three. Hey, if that's the life you chose.
We can barely hear you, man. You're going in and out.
If it's gunplay, and like somebody starts shooting at me and I got a gun, I'm busting back. There's no question about that. You just got to know disability.
Yeah, we can't barely hear you, man. You going in and out, man. Maybe call me back in a minute or so.
All right, comrade, I'll let you go.
Yeah, take it easy. That's Black Russia. But what he said, though, maybe you couldn't hear some of it, but he was going in and out to me was if he had a weapon, he busting back. And that's what I was trying to ask Fame. I'm like, wait a minute, you got two men down there. Okay, they're records. I get it. They got records. Maybe they got beef or whatever. They get into an altercation. It's a physical altercation. It didn't have to escalate. It could have just stayed a physical altercation. Somebody decides to escalate it to make it a gunfight. He pulls out a gun. Blick, 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 blick. He's firing all over the place trying to hit his target, but he's a bad shot, so he misses his target. Right? The target gets away. Maybe he's across the street, or maybe he's somebody that is associated with. Joe Deters said there was more to this story than they're at liberty to talk about now. So I'm sure we're going to get more details. We'll probably get all the details, right? Coming soon. But let's work with what we have right now. This is what we got. So you start returning fire to protect yourself. You can't claim self-defense. Joe Deters said he ain't buying it. Tell it to the jury. He said this was some petty beef. That's what he just said. I mean, those are his words. Do you agree with that? Disagree with that? Is that fair? Unfair? I don't know. You have to tell me. 171 years. I think that'll make everybody's, lust for justice. Yeah. We'll feel good about ourselves. Give these men the maximum. They can go to jail, and then we can all go back to our polite Cincinnati lives. And we ain't got to worry about this until the next shooting, y'all. Okay? So make us feel better. It's like this relationship between the crime that happens, and then the politicians have to respond with so much emotion to prove to us that they're tough on crime. And the prosecutor's going to come out. He's going to do everything he can to make sure these men never see the light of day. I think this is a really, really bad situation. I think it's a real bad situation. But nobody was, killed. I won't say people weren't seriously injured because I've never been shot in the ankle before. To me, that's serious. So people were seriously injured, even if they were grazed. I mean, who wants to be grazed by a bullet? That's going to F up your weekend. You planning a 3-day weekend now. What's fucking wrong? I got a fucked up ankle. You know what I'm saying? That's no good. That is an L every day, all day. But should these men go to jail for life and never get out again? That, to me, that seems like that seems excessive to me. Especially when I already know that if they gave these two men 2,000 years, it's not going to stop the same thing from happening next weekend or 2 weekends from now. Things tend to die down because everybody's like walking on eggshells and really, really sensitive at the moment. But give it a month, give it 2 months. It's not going to stop that. Like if I thought giving these men 171 years was going to stop the next one and people going to learn their lesson, okay, great. Make an example out of them. But you and I both know we adults. We old enough to know this ain't going to stop nobody from doing nothing in the city of Cincinnati. Come on now. And hasn't it been statistically proven that whole lock them up and throw away the key, prosecutor, white male, plantation owner, all white father type of shit don't really work? All it does is clog up the jails that we got to pay for as taxpayers. Ain't that what we learned already? When we going to try something different? Here's what I suggest. I suggest that with this shooting, we try something truly different. We try something truly different, something long-term, because that's what it's really going to take. We think outside the box and challenge ourselves and really challenge our assumptions about these shootings and the role of the media and the role of the prosecutor. Like, that's the best thing that can come from them. This is if we just look at this whole situation. I mean, that's talking about the schools. That's talking about deeper than just the prosecutor's office. Ourselves as individual citizens. That's what I would suggest. Anything less than this, and if this is just the latest outrage, the latest clickbait, I know what I'm doing. This is the latest clickbait. Everybody's talking about it because they got so much attention, and everybody's sensitive about being the victim of gun violence because we see all this shit in the news. But where is the state at? What are the state Republicans saying about this? They run the motherfucking state. They got all the power. It's only so much the city council can do, but I know how we do it. We're going to compartmentalize it, and the city council's fault. I already know. Good afternoon and welcome.
I ain't trying to double dip. It's Pat. They got a news conference on. I don't know if this is they say it's live. It's on Channel 5.
Okay, thanks. Hey, let
All
me
right.
look for that. People are posting about Dan Hills. Ray writes, Dan Hills was full-throated saying he has spoke to council and police chief and he's demanding higher pay for officers. Oh my God. Dan Hills is good with he's good for what he does. You got to understand. He represents the FOP. That's his job. Getting outraged about what Dan Hills says at this point is it's like getting outraged because you take your dog out for a walk and you got to pick up their crap. You get mad about that. I mean, it comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? He's a police chief union. He going to drop some shit from time to time. We just got to ignore it. Don't step in it. Don't look at it too much. Just walk around that crap. Black Not Democrat writes, crime is on the ballot in November elections. Oh, dear Lord. Ray writes, although I don't condone the Wild Wild West, it never ceases to amaze me how the gauntlet is always upon us. But no smoke for Carolyn Bryan Dunham types. Black folks ain't gonna be happy till they get her. That's the white woman that was involved with the whole Emmett Till thing. Black folks ain't gonna be happy until she die or she get got. They just ain't gonna be happy, and it's not gonna let that go. I get it. It's not the kind of thing you should let go. But listen, I just want to be with you for a little while. Just a couple of minutes. Want to plant a little seeds there. I'll be back tomorrow morning. I don't want to be on too long. All right. Now you can return to your regular schedule program.